Well, hello everyone. It is Sunday. It is I, your pal, J.Ishiro, author and alien in a human suit. And I hope you've been drinking your caffeine because I sure have. Next to me, as always, is the Double H bomb herself.
Hello, everyone. It is I, Kat, the night editor. How are you all on this wonderful Sunday?
They're not answering.
No.
I guess they're not doing wonderful.
Well, they might all be in church.
It's a little late for church, isn't it?
Not necessarily. It depends on your denomination.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Some of it, sometimes it isn't the get in there, get out in an hour sort of thing.
Well, there is, but I've known churches where they will have sessions throughout the day. So it'll be like every 2 hours, there's another section. So you just come in when you
got nothing better to do.
Got nothing better to do. You stumble out of bed. You take your kids to practice.
I'll be honest. I was always, my mom was, or the lady who raised me, not my mom. The lady who raised me was Catholic. And in a sense, I feel gypped because Catholics didn't get punching cookies afterwards.
No, Lutherans did.
No, we just got sent home.
No, Lutherans were all
with a piece of bread in our mouth. With a wafer.
Yes.
And no punching cookies to wash down that wafer.
Well,
I felt cheated.
Well, if it's anything like the Lutheran school that I went to, don't feel cheated.
What were they, like moms?
yeah, those mother's cookies were literally 10 years old, and I know they were because I saw the expiration.
Oh, they didn't get the good stuff?
No, they got the what the factory was giving away.
Oh.
It was a donation, and they just stockpiled them.
Well, I went to a Rich One once with a friend, and they had really good cookies.
Oh man, what'd they have?
I don't know. They were moist, and they had chocolate chips, and they were warm.
They may have been homemade.
And the punch they didn't skimp on. It wasn't like Tang or any shit like that.
It wasn't the Hawaiian punch.
No, it was something good.
Oh man.
So I figure that was like normal for like Lutherans to have like good fresh baked cookies and punch after church. I was like, church ain't so bad now.
No, the school I went to, it was decade old mother's cookies. And
well, that sucks.
And punch.
Was this Inglewood?
Westchester.
Okay. So might as well be Inglewood.
No. Westchester was actually a rich neighborhood. You
just had shit cookies.
They were cheap, yeah. We were 1.5 miles away from Loyola Marymount.
Well, there's no excuse then.
And like literally directly, you look down the cliff from DreamWorks Productions.
There is no excuse for shitty coffee then, or not coffee, shitty cookies.
No, they just stockpiled the cookies, and that's what they gave us.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, you're telling me.
So, how are you doing today, my love?
I am better now.
Yeah, did you like go take a big Duke and now you feel better?
I did, actually.
Oh shit. Here, see, I can never catch you by surprise. I can never throw you a curveball and trip you up. No, you're like, yeah, actually I did. I took a big honking turd. I feel great now. Yeah. Thank you very much.
My pants feel better.
I went down 2 pant sizes. Can't you tell?
I mean, look at my belt. I am not only am I on the last notch, I need to put at least 2 more holes in my belt.
That's how much you dumped, huh?
Yeah. Look at this.
Now, gentlemen. This is the kind of woman you want in your life. The one who will joke about how much shit came out of her ass.
Yeah.
And find it funny.
Yes.
And then show you the notches in her belt.
Yes. Well, it's proof. It's empirical.
It's empirical evidence?
Yes. The only thing that would be better is if the toilet was clogged.
We're done. We're done. We're not going any further. It stopped being funny. It is now entered into the stomach turning territory. No, we're done. We're changing.
Changing subject.
Gentlemen, this is another thing you want in your woman, is one who can actually outdo you in this stuff. Because she's committed.
I am committed.
She's committed to the gag if she's going to go that far.
Yeah.
Of course, it isn't really a gag if you really did it.
Yes, but what women would talk about it?
Not many, no.
I think Janelle would.
Oh, of course Janelle would. Janelle's one of those wonderful women who just doesn't give a shit.
Yes, it's wonderful.
She'll say just about anything if it's true. Or if it's on her mind, and just, it's like, screw it. No filter. Who cares?
Yeah.
She's not embarrassed. She's not going to get embarrassed by ladylike stuff.
No, she is not.
So, so what have you done? I have not been awake that long. I've been awake about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
No, 2 hours now, I guess. What have you been doing with your day?
I got up at 8, which I really shouldn't have. I shouldn't be this awake.
Is that when you took the turd?
No, I took the turd about 10 minutes ago.
You did it stealthily. I did not even notice. Did not even shake the house when you did it.
No, that was the power surge.
Yeah, that actually is. There was a power surge. That kind of sucked.
Yeah, kind of wondering what happened there.
Yeah, the fuse is blue here for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So, what else did you do? You cooked muffins for me.
Yeah, I cooked muffins, which is not a euphemism.
No, she really did bake me muffins for breakfast.
Yes. I exercised, and I edited a whole mess of stories, and that's been my day so far.
So what would you say about these stories you edited?
Well, these are stories for an upcoming book that
we promised you.
Yes. These are the tales told by an idiot, where it's the stories that
Well, you remember how you thought all those AI stories were pretty hilarious and they were really fucking stupid? And I promised to put them all in a book.
Well,
I hopefully we'll have them up within the week because, well, I mean, there's hardly any work for me to do.
And
I mean, it's just me harassing the computer and then having Kat edit them.
Unless there's more stories, I just have the last quarter of this one to do. And
no, I don't think I can do any more of these.
No.
I'm kind of burnt on the joke.
Well, this last one is like the magnum opus, quite frankly.
And why is it the magnum opus?
Because this latest one, Ishii did something really clever. And that is, every time the AI decided it wanted to go into romance territory,
or like really raunchy sex,
yeah, really raunchy bodice ripper crap, he'd let it to a point and then would cut it off and show, no, it's really our main protagonist and she's absolutely lost her shit and she keeps dropping into these weird ass fantasies about her boss.
They're all hallucinations, so she keeps popping out of it.
And it's hilarious. It's absolutely hysterical. The thing is I will say I am both impressed and disturbed by some of the shit that this robot is spitting out.
I hate to say, you know how there are certain bots where 4chan gets to it and it becomes racist.
Yeah.
Or rather, it becomes horribly honest.
Yeah.
Or you can, someone, some of these chat bots will be turned into trolls just by interacting with people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm convinced that novel AI is primarily being used by horny teenagers and millennial, lonely middle-aged women
mm-hmm.
who aren't getting any.
Yeah.
And it just spits out. It knows how to write stupid chick really well.
Yes, it does.
Do you care to elaborate on how well it can write stupid chick?
I think reading it is better.
Yeah, do you want to grab one? I mean, you've got the edited versions now.
You want me to grab like?
Sure, go ahead. Go grab one that you find exceptionally funny.
I think the archaeologist one.
Okay, yeah, that's the easiest one.
Well, the other one requires a setup, and this one doesn't.
And I'm also going to include illustrations from the computer with every single story, where I just punched in the title of the story that I created and let the AI generate an image. Why? Because, oh wow, the images are quite impressive.
Well, I believe you shared a few with them already.
No, I haven't. I shared them with you, but I can share them. I mean, they're all low res. Yeah, since we're talking about this, I mean, seriously, I hope to have this uploaded by tonight.
Oh, that is very doable.
And my since this is a gag, I'm gonna like try and charge at cost, or maybe 50 cents profit. I want this to be dirt cheap so you all can enjoy it. I don't want it to be expensive. Because I don't feel right charging real money for this. It's such garbage.
Okay, let's see here.
Okay, let me grab the graphics so the audience can enjoy the stupidity. For starters, here is the cover of the book. Okay, I did all the typography and layout because I'm a perfectionist, but the computer did the art. This is AI art. Just look at it long enough and you can see all the problems. Okay, read into the mic.
Okay.
Whatever you found most amusing. Do you want me to move the mic around or?
No, you're fine. I'm just. Should I just start at the
whatever
beginning?
You feel like.
Okay. Now, how much of the first entry is You, and how much is the robot?
I tell you the truth, I think 50% of it was me.
Okay.
But the more and more it went, the less and less I had to write.
Okay, here we go. I think I've read this one publicly before, but I'm gonna do it again anyway. So just letting you know, if you've heard this before, you're gonna hear it again. May 2nd, 2022. Dear Diary, darn it, darn it, darn it! This trip is just getting worse. It's bad enough I have to share Nolan with the Ice Queen's Miss Chen. But today we met this Ivanova lady. She is super hot. She looks like one of those slutty Russian spies in one of those James Bond movies. You know, with the blonde hair and the really big boobs and a seductive German accent. Yes, the AI thinks Russians have German accents. How the heck am I supposed to compete with that? She's also so bossy and arrogant. She acts like she knows all about hiking and mountain climbing and safety and stuff. By the way, the premise of this story is that
she's a college intern.
She's a college intern who is studying archaeology, and she's fallen for her professor, and she somehow convinced him to take her with him on an expedition to, some ruins. So, and she's thinking, oh, this will be my chance to land my dream boat. And through this whole thing, she's getting pissed off that all he wants to do is work and not pay attention to her. Let's see here. I can just tell Nolan wants her because he spends all day talking about maps and junk and hikes up to the temple, and he barely is talking to me at all. Instead, I have to help Miss Chen organize our hiking gear. Boring. I swear, all Miss Chen cares about is archaeology and stuff. She's never even heard of Beyonce. What a lame loser. I'm already so sick of this trip. Why can't I have self-confidence like Ivanova? Why can't I just scream to the world that I love Nolan? And it's just amazing how much of this is the AI. This isn't.
This is the image that it came up for the title.
That's the image it came up with?
Yeah, the title, I titled this one Raiders of the Lost Virgin, and this is the artwork the computer gave me.
Well, it got the Bond girl thing right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it kind of looks like a Bond opening. What the fuck's with her feet?
I don't know.
There's some clumped shit in this thing.
Yeah.
My God. I'm actually kind of impressed by like the pseudo impressionist style. It's just,
well, I gave it 2. Here was the other one it cooked up. Boring.
I mean, it's nice, but meh. Yeah, I'm confused by that one.
Oh, for the crazy obsessed office lady,
Mm-hmm.
one that you said is the magnum opus.
Yeah. Dear God.
That's what it gave me. And then here's her with her filter mask.
Okay, there's one picture, it's spat out, that you can tell it's like a tiki totem pole of boobs and butts. Yes. The problem is I can't tell what's a boob and what's a butt.
That was the evil alien overlord one with the temple. Where
with the Dracula brew?
No, the one where he's a vegan.
Oh, or he's a vegan. The alien barbarian overlord who's really a vegan.
You know what? I don't think I did one for the Dracula one. I didn't. Okay, so anyway.
So I'm just I'm checking. Okay, it's fine.
Okay, everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. It's Becca and I planning our hiking trip for next weekend. So anyway, do you want me to continue?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. June 5th, 2022. Dear Diary, damn it, I hate this trip. It's not fair. I'm sick of all this hiking and all this boring archaeology nerd stuff. Nolan barely talks to me. I've never been so bored on a vacation. I thought this would be my big chance to get into Nolan's pants, but alas, he cares more about some dumb temple. I want to go back home right now. The worst part is that Nolan talks all the time to this slutty Russian woman who keeps flirting with him. She's always like, Dr. Nolan, I suggest we take the north route. The weather is too harsh for the direct path. What a slut! I hate her. I wish I could wake Nolan up to my needs. I'm a young virgin who wants him to be. I want him to take my precious gift, and he doesn't even care.
So there's a bit.
Okay.
Do you want to share another one, or?
I'm trying to think what would be another good one.
Yeah. I mean, the shortest one is the one with the demon and Dracula.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, maybe just after Dracula comes and rescues her.
Sure.
Or I was wondering if there was any part of this current one that would be good.
Okay, yeah.
Where?
Okay, she's going through these files, seeing if she can't find just a segment that's pretty funny. But keep in mind, all of these were generated from the backs of books of actual romance novels that I just changed the names and changed the sentences just enough not to get sued. So, yeah.
Okay, so the scene is that she's come into the office while her boss is chewing out one of the other employees for being late. Meanwhile, she's come in late, so she's hoping he didn't notice. And she's got the hots for her boss. But as you read the story, this was the one I was talking about, where basically reality starts to decay the farther the story goes. To where she starts it's very much like Vampire's Kiss, where it just ends with you going back and forth between, what's reality and what's the fantasy. And this is the beginning of that, where she's come in and she's watching him chew out this coworker. And then he comes over to her desk, and she's basically, she pretended like she was sick or something, and that's why she wasn't looking directly at him. And he's like, well, then maybe you should go home. And she doesn't. And so here we go. It was cold in the office when it snowed, but Derek had no sympathy for anyone else's problems, so I pulled out my scarf filter and sat at my desk staring out into space. It wasn't like Derek would care about me freezing when he had made it clear he didn't even care about me freezing the other day. Sometimes it gets redundant. The program does. I kept glancing over at him as he talked on the phone. He was so hot. I wanted to touch him and kiss him and maybe even take him home with me to have some fun. But I knew he'd just yell at me if I walked up to him. Derek, you are so hot and I want to touch your sassy, curvy body. So instead, I started writing love letters to him in my diary. I was sure he'd never read it. I mean, what would he be doing reading my diary? Besides, it wasn't like I had any plans to go public with this crush of mine. Well, maybe not. I hadn't decided. God, decisions are so hard.
It knows how to write stupid chicks. What can I say?
But I really liked Derek, and I was going to do something about it. I put my hand on my chest, and I thought about how much I love Derek, and how I wish he'd notice me. What do I have to wear in order to get this man's attention? Maybe a little black dress would be sexy and show off my curves, but then I wouldn't be able to hide behind my scarf filter. I'd have to be brave and stand up for myself, and I was pretty sure I'd freeze to death if I did that. I didn't care, though. I'd take the risk and find love. Just not yet. I pulled out my diary and scribbled a quick note. Dear diary, wait, where's the letter to him? Oh yeah, wait. Dear diary, I know I should have gotten vaccinated, but then I got sick. But I was only pretending. I wasn't really sick. But that's what I told my boss, Derek the jerk. It's cold outside today, and when I was outside, I couldn't see where I was walking. I was so afraid of getting fired. I had to protect myself from a terrible fate. I pretended I was sick because I knew Derek would fire me if he found out I lied about being sick. Now I'm sitting at my desk with my scarf filter and I feel warm inside. I can't wait until the weather gets warmer and I can take off my scarf filter. Okay, that's enough for now. Goodbye. She later does actually write, oh dear God.
Read
Where?
Read down to the never mind.
Oh, read down to there?
Read it from here to never mind.
I went back to pretending I was working. I was really just taking peeks at Derek's rock-hard butt. But he was so hot. I could almost feel his strong arms wrapping around me and pulling me close to him. I sighed as I sat there and imagined what it would be like to kiss him. I wanted to put my lips on his mouth and taste the delicious flavor of his tongue. I bet he tastes like chocolate and peppermint candy. I wonder if he likes chocolate. I like chocolate. Then we could like chocolate together. That would be so sweet. Sorry.
See, well, you're laughing, right?
It's just so stupid. Derek's voice broke through my fantasy, and I looked up from my desk. He was standing over me with his hands on his hips. Anne, are you feeling better? He asked. On second thought, I don't really care. Never mind. He didn't even give me a chance to answer before he walked away. Anyway.
This one actually, should I give the twist of where this one goes?
Up to you. Totally up to you. I mean, the fun about these is not the destination, it's the journey.
Basically, I kept writing it that the boss was actually a nice guy and she was obsessed with him. And when she keeps coming on to him and I keep making it that she's insane, I have him say, we have a really good HMO and you obviously need mental help. You know what? We've got a program. Why don't you go seek some mental help immediately? I really want you to do this. You're a troubled lady. And then it says, I suddenly knew exactly what Derek wanted. And then the next scene, I was at the plastic surgeon. I was going to get bigger boobs.
Yeah. And what I liked about that was the plastic surgeon who...
Everyone's trying to talk her out of it.
Yeah, who quite frankly is an ethical person who's like, no, you can get this surgery. That's fine. But for your health, you really should lose weight first.
That's the thing. I let the computer write whatever the hell it wanted, but like the side characters, like the doctor and the boss, I made them perfectly reasonable.
Yeah. And I liked that she builds up in her mind that the doctor's actually conspiring with Derek against her.
Let's look at some of this fine AI art.
Oh, dear God.
I mean, look at this. I mean, clearly.
What's with that face?
I don't know.
Besides the body, I mean, look at the face. That one just
is disturbing.
What is?
What am I looking at?
Like, okay, the top two are boob, but when the rest of the body looks like dad ass there, and then she's got a tit tumor there.
Yeah, is that a tumor on her arm or a boob?
He's like, "Ugh."
Eh,
Yeah, it's fine.
that one.
Very samurai
Yawn.
shampoo.
Yawn.
Yeah, yawn. That one just what?
The story this one's for is just bizarre.
Is that the succubus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was really strange.
Yeah.
That's the succubus one again.
It is? Okay. But shouldn't those lightning bolts above her ears be coming out of her nipples then?
Well, look, now you have to tell the audience.
The succubus shoots lightning from her nipples.
I didn't write this.
Okay.
The computer wrote
The
this.
computer wrote that.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Takusetsu?
And there's Hitler as a ninja
Yes, Hitler is a ninja.
because he shows up as a ninja.
I love the handlebar mustache. That is just
Impressionistic almost, or that's actually kind of good.
it is kind of good. You know, it's like sheets and body parts and it's legs and butts, but yeah.
So yeah, my goal is to try and get this onto Amazon by tonight.
I think it can be done.
Now it won't be under J.Ishiro, it'll be under Richard Steele.
Yes. Richard Steele.
So, and I'll try and price it as cheap as I possibly can. Because it's not right to charge you anything more than as cheap as I possibly can.
Yeah. I dare you to type cheating bitch.
Okay. Wait.
Into the program?
Sure. Let's go through
Well,
these.
that's like almost all of these stories.
Let's go through these comments.
Wolf, and here I thought Olivia Munn made another book.
By Olivia Munn.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, at least it's not her, going into the torture chamber that is Build-A-Bear.
As I always do.
Draco, how come AIs keep writing romance novels? Are AIs actually lonely women with cats?
No, I think that's who's using these
to write their fantasy books.
Dude is negging like a pro. I have no idea what that means.
I do not know. That's okay. Wolf, I left you something on Discord. I think you and Ishii will find impactfully interesting.
Okay. I'll look in a minute.
Cool. William, for the love of all that is holy, someone drop a comment on the vacuous moron.
Something like that does happen at one point where I have the character just say, "You're too stupid to live."
Yeah.
And I have the character killed off because I just could not deal with how stupid the character was.
Is that the one where she says, "I'm not the protagonist,
yes.
I'm the damsel in distress"?
Yes.
Like, the AI wrote that.
And Dracula said, "I had enough of your shit," and pulled out a revolver.
Yeah.
You're too stupid to live. Okay, let's go on over to Discord. Let's open up the Discord. Now, where am I supposed to look?
Okay, so we need to go to the writer's room Discord. I think that's where he meant it.
And new mentions. There's arts and crafts. I don't think.
Ooh.
Huh.
Yeah?
Oh, the JC's already put
the concepts?
The concepts for Space Hunter Reiko on the Discord. 2 minus the bolt on the head. 1 also good, but feels like it suffers from having some eye protection. 3 makes me think of a knockoff Kamen Rider. That the newest ones that aren't good and try too hard. Huh, ouch. I'm 100% on 2, but partial to 1. I don't know. I just don't think the outfits are sexy. You know what? We shouldn't be talking about this without the audience seeing it. So let's see what Wolf left us. Wolf, what are we looking for?
Since you're there, check the online content under my name.
Online content. Okay, so we are looking. There's a thing on calligraphy. Is that it?
That he put up 4 days ago.
There's a thing on calligraphy. I'm just going to let you watch the chat, Melga.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. This is what she said. The dark truth about Velma's Mandy Cowling. Yeah, I think she's supposed to be the dog.
We're on the 19th and today is the 22nd.
Okay. Today's Hollywood gets wrong about what today's Hollywood gets wrong about Africa. Ayan Hirsi Ali, what to do about wokeness and Islam? What do wokeness and Islam have in common?
I think the today's Hollywood gets wrong about Africa. That's very interesting.
It's all about influence.
That's from Eloise.
And
now we're on yesterday.
Okay. Since you're here, check my we're gonna have to dig. I'm lost. I'm sorry, Wolf. Okay, so that's the one you wanted us to look at.
Okay.
Cool. All right, we will look at that later. So anyway, that's what we've been up to today.
And Draco left us suggestions of books to read.
Nice, very nice.
And you got an alert on Discord.
Well, that happens every few minutes.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yes.
Let's talk about something else, unless the audience has something funny to say.
Okay, what would you like to talk about?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I have no idea.
Well, we could review that movie we watched last night.
What did we watch last night?
The Dark House.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good. Give an intro to it.
Okay. Was messing around on Amazon and it suggested to me an independent film called The Dark House. The premise being elevator pitch, haunted house, underwater. You know what? It's two things that scare the shit out of me. I am so there. And I'll admit, I went into it expecting bad, or at least meh, because it is a Blumhouse film. But no, actually, I was impressed. I was very impressed. The setup is that you have two YouTubers who go to different locations around the world, abandoned locations that may or may not be haunted. They're not necessarily ghost hunters, but they are going into abandoned places that may have, spooky shit happening. And they are told about basically a village that was purposely sunk by the French government in the 70s in order to create an artificial lake for a dam. And when they get there, they are directed by one of the locals to a house that's submerged that is supposed to be completely untouched. And so they go scuba diving to go explore this house. And so the entire film basically is spent under the water exploring this submerged house. And quite frankly, it was brilliant. They did a great job with mood. They did a great job with tone. They did a great job with the fact that all of the budget went to the fact that the entire thing was going to be filmed underwater. there is some CG, but they use it sparingly and wisely. Um, and there's a couple of jump scares, but they're very appropriate jump scares. I was not, I didn't think that they were cheesy at all. Um, I will say it has two things to it that for me personally, I'm very picky about haunted house stories, and I thought once it got into the third act, it started lacking. But that's for me personally. I can get more into detail when Ishii comes back. He had to step out for a moment. And the other thing with the story, now this is actually not bad. This is not a criticism. Neither of the main characters are likable. I actually didn't like either of them. But you know what? This is one of those times where that's okay that you don't like them. Where I found it was lacking was the girl would not fucking shut up and was just screaming her head off every 2 seconds in the last half of the second act and almost the entirety of the third act. And there were a couple of times where, since they're underwater and it's dark, you can't tell what's going on. You just have the camera swirling around with bubbles and her screaming her head off. And it's like, okay, I get the point. Can we move on? Can we either see what's happening or can she move on to scream about something else? So, but otherwise, great haunted house story. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I found it quite enjoyable. For a while there, it seemed like it was kind of hinting towards the esoteric Order of Dagon, but then never really did that.
Yeah, it's weird because through the whole thing, there's Lovecraftian quotes.
The seal at the bottom never gets opened.
The seal at the bottom never
That
gets
seemed kind of like a red
opened.
herring because it was like they find this circular plate that's obviously enclosing up some chamber,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got a seal on it, a ward.
Yeah.
And they bring it up, but then never do anything with it.
There's a couple of points where they bring things up and then never do anything about it. Like, they make a very big deal about how there's all this Super 8 footage.
And it never goes anywhere.
Yeah, it never goes anywhere. Or there's all these recordings. And I thought for certain they were going to recover some of these things and go look at it and then say, okay, we need to go back to the house.
I mean, near the end, you get to see some of the Super 8 recording, but it was kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
It was more like we need exposition here.
Mm-hmm. It was more like, okay, it's not the same, but it was more like in Cigarette Burns when you start seeing images of the movie and it doesn't entirely hold up.
Yeah. The thing with Cigarette Burns, perfect in my opinion, was the movie should have just been blaring white, and you never actually see it.
Oh, on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that there's actually nothing on the screen. It's all in your mind.
Or yeah, that you see the people reacting, but you never actually see anything on the screen, but just blaring white.
Yeah.
And I'm okay, and things start coming out of the screen. I liked that.
Yeah. Yeah, things coming out of the screen is good. Also, the thing with his dead girlfriend, just, yeah.
Robomancer is AI generated. That's the point. It was meant to look bad. The whole point is, don't worry, AI is not stealing your job, writers.
Yeah. Unless
you want to write nonsense and make fun of it.
Actually, if you weren't doing this under a pseudonym, I would entitle it AI is not stealing your job.
How has this been 40 minutes? It didn't feel like 40 minutes.
We're having fun?
I guess so.
I was reading from Silly Stories.
Yeah. Undead Quinn, Robomancer. Let me put this back up. Okay. Oh, I erased it.
What did you erase?
Let me put it back in.
What did you erase?
Remember how we were playing with that story generator, with the AI story generator, and the idea was to harass it and get, just drive it nuts? Well, you guys kept saying I should collect the stories, so I put together six that I thought were worth sharing, that were the funniest. Then I had a computer generate cover art for me. Now, I did the typography, okay? The computer didn't do that. But other than the typography, this is all generated by AI. And the idea is, yeah, it looks bad. And so, stupid romances written by an idiot.
Love it.
And I'm going to hopefully have this. My goal is to have it uploaded by the end of the day because it's all done for the most part. And I want to charge like at cost or bare minimum because I don't really feel right charging people for this thing. So, yeah, something for you guys to sit back, get drunk, and laugh at on the way. At lunch, you're like, I want to read something just hilariously stupid. And Kat was reading a little bit of AI seems to be extremely well at writing vapid, stupid airhead girls.
I think that's all it's being fed.
Well, yeah, it's being fed what it is these programs are learning from the users, and the users apparently are teenage girls and middle-aged moms who are hornier than hell, and it's giving them what they want.
And it seems to be obsessed with
butts,
with male genitalia, and actually with it suffers from Simone.
Food. Yeah, lots of food. Lots and lots of food. There's another theme that I found kind of disturbing, and maybe the ladies in the room can answer this for me. I limited it to 2 stories because the theme just came up too much. And that was the repeated theme of a chubby girl pining after the studly guy, then either by magic or by science or by whatever, something makes her gorgeous and beautiful and busty. And suddenly the guy wants her. And she says, well, I'm too good for you now. I'm going to fuck all the guys.
Yeah.
And you'll have to come crawling back to me because all the guys want me. And I was like, right. What is this saying about women? We're not getting any answer yet. So, yeah. But yeah, so many of those came up. I said, okay, I'm only including 2. I had to include other stuff that didn't go in that direction. I also purposely went out of my way to make sure that, God, it really veered towards disgusting a lot.
Yeah, Dad.
So just for my own sake and for Kat's sanity, things like dick, cock, penis, slamming pussy.
Yeah.
Split her pussy into... No, I've replaced all those words with flowery innuendo like armadillo.
I liked armadillo. And just
plow. An angry rooster.
Angry rooster.
Meat torpedo.
Meat torpedo, yes. Or just wiener.
Wiener. Yeah, wiener was another one.
It's simple but effective.
Love tunnel.
Love tunnel. Yeah.
Wow. Nobody's saying anything. What does that say? No comment, huh?
We are just that engaging. Was incest not a trend with this blight upon our souls? Actually, that did come up a couple of times.
I would not include it.
No.
I have standards, even from shitty AI stories.
There were a couple of times where the AI kept veering in that direction,
and
it's like,
I kept saying hell no.
Well,
hell no.
There's the line, kissing him was like kissing a baby's butt.
Is that still in there?
Yeah, it's still in there. I kept it because it's just like, that is so stupid. Yes.
Exactly.
There's a lot of those.
Lots of weird supernatural for no reason.
Yeah. Lots of weird supernatural for no reason. Or, it liked beer. That's the thing that gets me.
It kept going back to beer and houseboats.
Yeah, beer and houseboats.
In various stories. Always beer and houseboats. Is that a thing now?
I don't know. I'm used to women wanting wine and a yacht, not beer and a houseboat. And my experience of houseboats is not romantic. I've known 4 people who lived on houseboats. They were not romantic. In fact, one of them was kind of terrifying.
Tyrone must have been America's first black vampire to own a houseboat.
Yeah.
Actual line.
Actual line.
Actual line. I fed the back of the book description of Twilight in, but changed Edward into an inner city a black kid.
Yeah. First, he has a junker of a van that he drives to his houseboat.
Yes.
Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I do not know. What? You can't stop. Oh.
No, I can't.
Okay, well, you know what that means.
No, it's okay.
Houseboat cat.
Houseboat.
He has a houseboat. He's the first black American vampire to own a houseboat.
Have you ever seen a houseboat?
Like Barack Obama.
Have you ever seen a houseboat?
They're ugly, yes.
They are ugly. I mean, you have the kind that's like basically a brick floating on water, or that's basically a sailboat that somebody actually lives on. Like Captain Ron, only smaller. No, really. I mean, the one Steven had was about a third smaller than the one in Captain Ron.
Yeah, the two that really went amok was the one where the woman's just insane and keeps fantasizing and snapping out of it.
That one was great.
The other one that went on really long was the woman who's captured by alien warlords. And no, that's not the one where she gets sold at an auction.
No, that was
the vegan.
Yeah.
That was the vegan warlord who tortured her with a toothbrush.
No, it was the succubus one that just kept going. And
going. Where they keep feeding her succubus essence, and then what the fuck is this?
No, it's the fact that the AI itself said, "Wow, I'm tripping balls." Like, who fed you that? This thing is like having a 2-year-old that will like parrot random shit that it's heard, and it's like, where the hell did you hear that from? Samuli, silly AI, black folks can't swim, black vamp doubly so.
Yeah, aren't vampires supposed to avoid water?
Oh, no, running water.
So houseboat not good, or is houseboat fine?
Huh? Houseboat's fine if it's on the ocean.
Just not the river.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, running water bad. That's how come Dracula could travel by sea. But he couldn't take the river down to the ocean. He had to go by cart.
Well, like, what if somebody carried him down the river?
No.
No?
No.
What, he won't move? Will he burst into flames?
Well, he was... Stoker was going on the idea that any river is is through, I guess, sympathetic magic is the closest that I can think of, is like the river Styx. So if you cross it, you cross the river Styx and you die.
Oh, okay. So they just die.
Yeah, they cease to be. And I mean, in Stoker's version, it would probably just be your lifeless corpse just falls to the ground. In modern day movie version, you'd probably burst into flames, like, or have like angels come down and take you away. So.
Oh, by the way, the audience was asking this yesterday, and I had my own opinions. But
is this while we were playing?
No, I think, or maybe
wow,
I don't
she's
know.
Hot.
Not bad. Yeah, I'll post
she's fucking hot.
But anyway, what I was somebody had asked, well, what happens if a vampire bites an alien? And I said, well, it depended on the vampire, because if you go off the religious vampire, the original myth of the vampire, they're demons, so the alien would need a soul.
Mm-hmm.
But how would you answer that question?
Well, again, I would say, are we talking religious vampires or are we talking, science vampires? If it's religious, as long, like you said, as long as the being has a soul. No, I take that back. No, if it's a religious vampire, it wouldn't matter. What would matter is the type of vampiric um, possession, for lack of a better term. Because remember, in Stoker's Dracula, there are two different types of vampires. There are those who are possessed, and there are those that are basically just meat puppets.
Okay, so what would that mean for the alien?
Well, if they have a soul, that soul can be trapped in purgatory, and they can become for lack of a better term, a king vampire like Dracula was. If they have no soul, then they can be a meat puppet like Lucy was.
King vampire.
Yeah, king vampire, it's a term. It's not from Stoker, but it's a term. But then again, Greys don't have teeth.
Yeah.
Greys don't eat. You ingest differently. So the question would be, what would it be that Greys would?
Well, if you
what
go
is the
by the
essence
mythos,
that
if you go by the mythos, the Greys are so intellectual and was it ego driven? The super ego
Mhm.
is they're so possessed by the super ego and that aspect of the soul that they are actually lacking and deficient in the lower aspects of the soul, such as violence, and have a hard concept with. They're very empathetic, but I have a hard time with concepts of actual love.
So actually, if a Grey was to be possessed by a vampiric demon, you'd be like Walter.
Oh, a complete shit show.
You'd be a chupacabra.
Because yeah, I would say that the thing is if you go with Grey lore, the idea is that they're very high intelligence, they're very enlightened, they're incredibly intelligent, and in touch with certain aspects, but have lost touch with things that make us human, including the flaws.
Ironcast Knight. No, actually, if you go by classic vampiric rules, like I'm saying Stoker and prior to Stoker, they are very much so demon possessed corpses, through and through. And it's very, very clear that there are certain things that you have to do. And to get rid of a demon or to get rid of a vampire back then, there was a lot of shit you had to do. It's not like, the movies show nowadays where, you just a wooden stakes, it's not Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where you just poke them and they explode into dust. There was a lot you had to do because you were exorcising a demon. And one of the examples of this is there was a tuberculosis epidemic in colonial United States in the 1700s, and through Massachusetts. Yeah, Massachusetts. What happened is one person got sick, and of course the town rallies to help that person, and then it spreads to other people in the town, and then it spreads to the next town, and so on and so forth. And they legitimately thought they had a vampire epidemic. In fact, Lovecraft even wrote a story about this, strangely enough. And you had this, there's an account of this one gentleman who became convinced that a vampire had possessed his entire family, and as they each succumbed to tuberculosis, he took it upon himself to stake each one through the heart, to decapitate their heads, to rearrange their body parts, and to set them on fire. And he did it to his wife and all of their children because he lost all of them. And then he left town and he moved in across the street from Lovecraft. And Lovecraft used him as the basis for one of his stories. I couldn't tell you which one. But,
Okay, so going back to the theoretical question of a religious vampire trying to take or thrall a gray.
Well, if the idea is that grays are
They lack an id.
If they lack an id
entirely,
then the vampiric essence would fill that void.
And they lack an id, and they're losing touch with the ego because there's so much superego.
Basically, the superego would either leave or be locked up, basically, and they become all id. They'd go rabbit.
So yeah, like a chupacabra.
Yeah, like a chupacabra. It'd be like Walter.
But stupid.
Yeah.
Like Walter.
Well, also, if you look at, again, Stoker's easy to reference, so that's why I keep doing it.
I would love to do a series of like 3-panel strips of the adventures of Walter, the moronic failed gray, of just him fucking up.
That would be great. But yeah, they'd be rabid, basically. There is a book, if anybody is interested. I can go get the author if you want. It's a minister who wrote a series of books that, all seriousness, he wasn't joking. All seriousness was all about how we as soldiers of God can fight these otherworldly creatures that are trying to corrupt us to Satan. And he's got an entire book on how to fight vampires, how to recognize them, accounts of vampiric activity, what to look for, how exactly to dispatch them. He also did this with, I'm sorry to say, werewolves. And he's got like 2 of them on witches. There's a lot. So they're very fascinating books to review.
Well, here's another question. Greys don't have a heart. They have a single organ that does the function of a heart, lungs, and circulatory system, all woven into one.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make any difference?
No.
Okay.
The heart is the idea that yes, you may think with your brain, but the heart is the throne of the soul. So it's if the entity doesn't have a place to occupy to control the body, then it can't do it. That's why you destroy the heart.
Montague Summers?
Yes, that's him. Thank you, Just Rambling. Yeah, Montague or Montag, depending on who
I
you're
think it's
talking
Montague.
to. Yeah.
My name's Montag.
Well, that's the name of the character, one of the characters in Fahrenheit.
Yeah, Montag was the fire.
Yeah. Because he's read the werewolf book. Okay, I haven't read the werewolf book yet, and I've read parts of the vampire book. So, but that's cool that you're familiar with it. Excellent. Anyway.
So we've been on an hour. Do you want to call it a afternoon, or what do you want to do?
Either way.
Tell you the truth, I could use some room from lunch.
Food sounds
You
good.
feel like lunch?
Yeah, I feel like lunch.
Okay, quick, get your questions in, or we're going to lunch. We're going to give you 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and then we're going to lunch. We're out to lunch.
We need a whistle.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I need to get the timer thing on the screen where it counts down. 5 minutes to ask any of your questions before we go.
Well, we should have a timer anyway for when shows are going to begin.
Oh, no, I just prefer playing Psycho-Stick videos.
Okay.
I think I'm doing some good to the world, exposing the world to bands people need to know about that won't copyright strike me.
Yeah.
For promoting their music. Like Devo. Devo doesn't seem to care that I use their music.
No.
Nor does Public Image Limited. In fact, I know they don't care.
I'd be shocked if he cared.
No, actually,
I mean, you're not making money, so
YouTube tried to copyright strike me for using Public Image Limited for Wordcraft.
Mhm.
And the record label, or whoever owns the rights, I guess it's John Lydon.
Yeah.
Apparently, they had some boilerplate already written up that said, no, it's okay. We don't care.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm perfectly allowed to use that little bit of the song because I'm not profiting.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes. The Kentucky Goblins.
Oh, that's the little creatures that were attacking
the hillbillies.
Yeah. That Hynek looked into, right?
Yes. Old school Zoids. Yeah, I had old school Zoids. So which ones? You mean the ones from the 80s?
12D, 32, double H.
What did he ask?
What my bust size is.
Is it really 32? I thought it went up.
No, 32.
32?
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, we measured you a while back.
No, this went up.
The cup size went up.
The cup size went up, yeah.
So, yeah, the band size is still 32. The top is what?
43.
Well, yeah, 43 inches.
Yeah, it had been 42, 32. But now it's 43, 32.
Just happened. Not going to complain.
Just happens.
Just got to accept reality. Just sometimes it happens.
Oh, darn.
Sometimes that happens when women get older.
Yeah.
And some women, their boobs go bye-bye after menopause. Others approach menopause and they get bigger for some reason.
Actually, it's the increase in natural progesterone.
So yours might get even bigger?
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
Darn.
That'll be just terrible. I don't know what I'll ever do.
You won't breathe?
I know how I'll be dying.
Dude.
Okay, so
this is a commercial for Zoids.
Let me stream. This is second gen Zoid, not the original 80s Zoids. These are cool. I love this ad. Everyone needs to see this.
Undead Quinn asks if
it's 89
of Astrobot.
This is 89. Okay. No, the original 80s, early 80s Zoids did not look this cool.
These things look pretty awesome.
Yeah. Zoido, huh?
And I love how the commercial is indistinguishable from a Power Rangers Zords. See?
I'm just gonna say, why do some of these effects look better than what we're getting right now from Marvel?
Yeah. From everyone.
And these are just wind-up toys and pyrotechnics.
Because they understand scale.
Astrobot. Sounds familiar. I don't know.
Isn't Astrobot, he's kind of the little white guy?
Why did it? Okay, this one. Yeah, I had this one, or at least the first version of this. Yeah, I had the original version of the second gen. Yeah, I think they really got it right with the second gen. The first gen, they were all white and gray, and they looked cool, but I mean, they weren't streamlined like this. These are badass. Not sure why he's standing next to G.I. Joe, though.
Scale?
Well, no, because for the kids to see what. Yeah, because the Zoids have those little pilots inside. And then there was the spin-off series, the Starriers, that never really took off, which were they were like Zoids and they were interchangeable. Tell you the truth, Starriers would have been perfect for Battletech because all the parts were interchangeable.
Oh, cool.
So you could swap torsos, heads, weapons, legs.
Nice.
And you could build your own mechs.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Man, now I want all these.
Yeah.
Now I want to spend an afternoon or two just building them and doing this.
That would be cool. No, and then I'd want to kit bash them, add my own shit to them.
See things like this, and it makes me want to make my own stop motion. Or this isn't even stop motion. This is just camera tricks.
Yeah.
toys used to be so cool.
Toys did used to be so cool. What the fuck happened?
Voltron was awesome.
Voltron was amazing. Anybody see Jobby's review of the 5 Lion build? We've watched it.
Yeah. Oh, God.
That was like a $500,
I wanted that 5 Lion Voltron as a kid so fucking badly.
I did too, actually.
As a kid, it was $50.
I don't know how much it was. I was 3. I just knew I wanted it.
Or was it 70? I forget. Let's just say that if my other siblings had asked, they would have gotten it. Let's see.
I just know if it was a robot, I wanted it.
Are we too broke to do sushi?
We can do sushi.
Let's do sushi.
Okay, yeah, we can do sushi.
Hey, I love hanging out with you guys. How about if I keep doing these afternoon casts? Why don't we start doing the thing again where I bring one of you from the audience on, and so I can get to know you guys better.
Yeah.
So we can get more revolving guests, more people just to hang out with, because you're all so much fun to talk to in the chat.
I'm gonna say let's end the Zoids because YouTube sucks and they might pull us. There you go. I figured out it's if you're streaming one of their things, their algorithm figures it out.
Okay, one other thing, real quickly, before we go. Remember when we did that thing where we let listeners come on and review books? I want some permanent, regular reviewers who will review new books, and we'll bring them on like once a month to do 15-minute reviews on a regular basis. Anybody interested, let me know. Now, keep in mind, you won't get to be on for the whole show. You'll get 15 minutes or 20 minutes, but I'd like to start making that a regular thing. So either contact me through the Discord or email me directly, or email Kat because I'm shitty at responding at people. Actually, email Kat because I don't respond to anybody. Sorry.
Okay.
No, I am. I'm shit at responding. I admit it. I feel like an asshole.
Well, don't.
No, I feel like a total asshole. I mean, there are people on here that I owe responses to from like months ago, and I still haven't responded. BGC still needs a response from me, but I suck. But anyway, let's go get sushi.
Okay.
And not pay for it.
Bye, everyone.